My name is Noreen O'Connell, founder and director of beabiz.com, a web portal dedicated to free training and development. This is one of a series of trainings for people managers based on 25 years working in leadership and management. I have worked with many performance management tools over the years. In this training series, I bring together guidance on the most important steps. This video focuses on setting objectives. The other steps are covered in separate training videos. All of the information and supporting material for this video can be found in my Performance Management Guidebook. Objective setting is part of the performance management process. And performance management is an annual cycle of aligning strategic goals to individual objectives and then managing employee performance to deliver on those objectives. The process usually kicks off in January. People managers evaluate performance of their individual team members for the previous year and set objectives for the new year. The process is very time-consuming and takes discipline, motivation, and skill to do it effectively. It is, however, well worth the effort. Objective setting involves planning and organising your work to deliver on the strategy and annual business plan. There are many benefits to having a formal objective setting process. Objectives clarify at all levels of the organisation the priorities and expected results. Well-written objectives allow you to maximise the use of your resources and to harness the potential, the skill and the competency of your organisation. They empower employees to take responsibility and they set up your performance management process. A fair and consistent objective setting process will enhance motivation and engagement. People often get confused between a job description and objectives. A job description relates to a role on the organisation chart. This role captures the accountabilities and competencies that are important to delivering the strategy and business plans over the long term. A job description is not person-dependent. Objectives are the annual specific employee deliverables. Let's have a look at the objective setting process. Objectives are cascaded from strategy, getting more specific as they are cascaded. For effective objective setting, the company strategy needs to be clear and aligned across the organisation. Function heads need to actively participate in the development of company strategy to ensure that functional requirements are represented at a strategic level. Let's have a look at the cascade process. Strategy is cascaded to a 3 to 5 year roadmap. The roadmap is then cascaded to an annual business plan. This plan provides direction to the organisation for annual objective setting. Function and cross-function objectives are cascaded from the annual business plan. Function heads need to align on any cross-functional objectives, as you cannot assume support or prioritisation. The function management team cascade the function objectives to team objectives. Then the team leader cascades these to individual objectives. As objectives are cascaded, they get more specific and detailed. This is necessary to make sure that employees know exactly what they are expected to deliver. Step 2 of the performance management process is covered in a separate training video. Let's have a look in more detail at the team leader's role. When the objectives have been cascaded, the team leader discusses and aligns on the individual objectives with each employee. This helps to firm up the objectives and to drive ownership and engagement. At the discussion, expected results, priorities, challenges, resources, and requirements from others are discussed. For cross-functional objectives, the function manager or relevant team leader needs to align on deliverables, responsibilities, priorities, and timelines with those you depend on to deliver the results. You cannot assume support. Objectives are captured using a standard performance management template. This ensures consistent objective setting across the organization. A performance management template, including instructions for completion, is included in my performance management guidebook. My guidebook outlines guidelines on objective setting. Let's have a look at the key ones. SMART criteria help you to set objectives. SMART stands for specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. Be specific on the expected results, contributions, and behaviours. Write clear, concise objectives that allow employees to understand exactly what is expected of them, and include specific personal development objectives that provide challenge and growth. Set measurable objectives so that you will know when the objective has been achieved. Measures can be set at an individual, team, department, or company level. And measures need to be clearly defined, easy to interpret, and show progress. Objectives need to be realistic and achievable given the time, the resources, and the capability of the employee. Objectives need to be relevant to the annual business plan, the employee's role, and their sphere of influence. Clarify timelines, making sure the timeline is realistic and the duration is specified. It is also really helpful to divide your objectives into categories. Here are some examples. Aim for no more than 5 to 6 categories in total, and each category will need to adhere to SMART criteria. It is also really useful to have a list of action verbs to hand as you write objectives. Here are some examples. Let's look at personal development in more detail. Personal development objectives can include training, coaching or mentoring, and also hands-on learning, for example, participating in a project to grow your skills and competencies. Personal development is strongly focused on the soft skills that are needed for an individual to successfully deliver their objectives, realize their potential, and grow their career. As part of the objective setting process, a team leader may identify a specific behaviour that an employee needs to improve on. This is really important when a behaviour is counterproductive and needs to be addressed. I cover giving feedback in a separate training video. Setting objectives can be challenging, so I have included example objectives and personal development objectives in my performance management guidebook. On completion of the objective setting process, communicate a summary of the organisation, function, and team objectives across your teams. This will provide employees with sight of how their role and objectives contribute to the company strategy and priorities. There will always be unforeseen objectives. Have an objective setting process that is flexible and allows reprioritization of objectives as needed. Communicate to the organisation when direction and priorities have changed. All of the information covered in this video, along with support materials, can be found in my Performance Management Guidebook. The next steps in performance management are covered in 3 short training videos. You will find these on our website. You can find all of my people trainings through our blog directory. You can also find additional free trainings through our website, where we have pages dedicated to management training and personal development training.